And now for a taste of things to come.
The year is 2006. The World Cup happened. The world is fucking burning all their money in a financial way. I am 4 years old, and I don't know what's happening. I'm a little nose picker in preschool making walls out of blocks and kind of just throwing other kids into them. But little did Tiny Man know that a new game just dropped that October. The month of spooks, as they call it, is upon us, and about 1 billion nerds with Cheeto fingers wait outside their local GameStop, Tesco, fucking 7-Eleven, because the night has finally come for Mortal Kombat Armageddon to release. And this set the world on fire. I'm assuming, once again, I was 4 and not much going on up there. But in my little dumpy brain, the world got set on fire because all of a sudden, I wasn't allowed in the living room because Dad's in there having a great time slaughtering people and playing Mario Kart with Satan this time. Satan's there. And when I was finally of age, and by of age, I mean the age where my parents kind of stopped trying to keep me away from violent video games because I was a little piece of shit kid that threw marbles at people, so they kind of just said, fuck it, take this, and sat me down with Player 2 controller that may or may not have been plugged in. Jury's still out on that one.
Right. I have reached my verdict.
What? And I was able to play alongside my other Earthlings, aka siblings, aka that one dude that told me I couldn't have a second Go-Gurt, so I told him to jump out the 2-story window, all when I was the ripe age of 2.5. And what I saw on that TV changed my life. I saw blood, I saw guts, I saw polygonal titties, I saw this dude with the weird hair, I saw this dude with balls all over him. 2008 was an insane year for me. I'm pretty sure that was the moment I became a man and started chugging 40s and beating my wife. I played this game so much as a little infant toddler baby that was actually like 7, but still, that it changed the way how I see fighting games. I never grew up on Street Fighter or fucking Double Dash or whatever Mario was doing back then. I grew up getting the snot beat at me by my older brother in Mortal Kombat and Tekken. But Tekken is another story for another day, because today is all about the big M and the big K, and A, and R, and M, and A, and Mortal Kombat Armageddon is the game I have the most nostalgia to when it comes to good old Neversoft, Never Hard, Minecraft, Nether Fortress, Nether Realm Studios, and I couldn't have asked for a better game to grow up on. This game had it all. Want to beat the shit out of your brother because you got banned from Chuck E. Cheese if you do it in real life? Go right ahead. Want a weird little God of War ripoff platformer? Alright, I guess. Want Mario Kart? Xena's the penis, Margie! It's right there, we have it all! Which is what made this a perfect game to introduce me to the Mortal Kombat series. Hell, you can even make your own character, and that means that you are in the lore. Canonically, Dick Eater 334 is canon, and Capcom can't do shit about it. This game brought me so much joy as a kid, but after years of that being my favorite fighter game, I kinda grew out of the genre and didn't keep up with it very often. That is, until a little game came out called Injustice 2. One fateful night, I decided, you know what, Jared? I want a goddamn fighting game. So I had two choices, Tekken 7 and Injustice 2, and after multiple minutes of deliberation, I ultimately went with Injustice 2. And that night, good Ghibli, I did not go to sleep until 7 a.m. that morning. I got so addicted to that game because it was everything I was looking for in a fighting game. It helped that I knew all the characters all the way from the Flash to Batman to Bald Man.
Wait, what is this?
It's Bald Boy. It's another Batman.
But this felt different than all the other games, because to me, all these characters kind of just felt like they were the same grape from the grape tree. And ultimately, my choice didn't matter, because no matter what, I'd be punching this dude, kicking this chick, drop kicking this child. The choice never felt different enough that I got bored with it just in a few rounds. But with Injustice, with the superpowers and knowing the characters, they all felt so unique, so playing through all the different characters kept me entertained for hours and hours, and that's what I've been looking for ever since. And I don't think that will happen until Injustice 3, if that ever does come out, but for now, the second best thing is here, because this video isn't about Armageddon. Hell, this video isn't even about Injustice. Hell, this isn't even about Spider-Man. That's for later, don't worry, it's okay. This video is about the newly released I played each Mortal Kombat as they came out, but I never truly got into any of them. So when Mortal Kombat 1 was released earlier this year, I wasn't really drawn into it as usual. But the DLC pack announcement of the Kombat Pack 1 got me actually excited for once, and with this channel I decided what better time to make poor financial decisions than now. Because I'm going to be fighting a different battle today. Today's going to be about a race to a platinum. Me and Splumpers decided that Mortal Kombat 1 is the perfect game for a first year conquest, which is a name we both decided that I would make up on the spot as I'm writing this script right now, see? So with that being said, this week is all going to be about Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat trophies, because the first person to obtain this platinum will achieve an extra point towards our overall competition in this year of platinums. So this platinum being worth 2 platinum trophies means that I need to step on the gas pedal and just Mortal Kombat 1 is a game about Mortal Kombat. Duh, you little stupid, you need me to dangle some keys in front of you so you can pay attention, huh? Come on, stupid, look at the Subway Surfers so I can tell you about this guy who just decapitated another guy, because spoiler, it's because he's called your mom fat.
Yo mama's so stupid. She thought Instagram.
And this video isn't going to be about going through the story of good old MK because 1, spoiler alert you freaking dweeb, and 2, I think the story is honestly pretty good. I've never really gotten into a story mode in a Mortal Kombat game, so I'm not a really good judge for it, but hell, I enjoyed it, and I think it's one that you should just buckle down and watch, or play by yourself. But this video is about getting the all-holy platinum trophy, because as listed earlier, keep up stupid, I'm sorry. Me and the Big Splump are having a competition in which this platinum trophy is worth 2 platinums in our overall anime story arc to see who can get more platinums in this year, the first year that is. You get the idea, we're gamer girls, which side note, if you haven't treated yourself to his video on Ubisoft, go do that after this video, don't do it now. This is about me, it's my turn on the PlayStation, you've been playing for like 6 years, Mom! Back to the Kombat. To get this platinum, it's decently easy. You gotta complete the story mode and get both endings, play the gosh darn game for a good amount of time, and by a good amount of time, I mean a lot of time, and finally play through the newly introduced Invasions mode, which is what I'm starting with. Invasions is one of the cooler ways I've seen battle passes done in the game. I don't know if that's the intent of all this, but from what it seems, if this is what they're gonna do each season, I'm happy they aren't just sticking to the same $19 Fortnite card system that every game and their mom sticks to. That mom being Splashdown 2, love you mom. The battle pass is kind of like a tabletop game where you make a turn which brings you to a new little piece of the board, which could be a fight, a tower, a forge, or a shop. The last 2 don't really matter very much in the platinum. They're somewhat useful, but the real useful thing in this game, however, is a thing called Uppercut and Barack Obama.
Let me be clear.
I stole that joke from Bisley. Sorry, King. Here's your crown. To get through this shit easy and quickly, you just gotta uppercut, 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 uppercut. Went to the store to get more uppercut.
Whoa, what are you doing? Get out of the team.
And while Baruchni is doing that, we're gonna go on to the other trophies. And this first one being about the story. The story is your typical run-of-the-mill Mortal Kombat story. And if you don't know anything about that story, look at the man I gave the crown to earlier. Go look. He's got a great video on that just came out last week on the convoluted story of Mortal Kombat. That's a weird title, but okay. I don't have too much to say about this story because, of course, like I said, spoiler alert, which, real quick, real spoiler alert, I just want everyone who doesn't care about the minor spoilers in this game, if I've already seen it, to witness this cool-ass fight that happens about halfway through the game. So if you don't want to see that, go to this timestamp. Go. You gone? Okay, good. Loser. I can't believe I fell for that. Okay, so now there's just you and me. The passcode to my secret bunker underneath my bed is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This fight scene's pretty normal and there's no real big reason for me to be talking about it, but I just love how they treated Scorpion and Sub-Zero's relationship in this game, because they are bitter rivals in every game. But when this game got announced, everyone's panties got in a twist about how they're brothers, and that ruins the story. But shut up for a second and look at this. A betrayal story is always more entertaining than these guys should fight, just cause that's what I'm used to. Get off your high horse and watch the fake people kill each other. It's fun, don't worry. Pause. Okay, I know I said minor spoilers, but I just finished the story mode, so I just need to talk about it because I love it so much. So big spoiler alert, it goes over basically the entire end of the game and the final battle, so if you don't want to know any of that, go to the timestamp again. I'll give you 3, 2, never mind, I'm going right now, fuck you. In so many games, I go in expecting the worst because the ending of the game is usually the part that most games fuck up, but in this game it was the complete opposite. So you know how I've been raving on about how much I love Armageddon? Well, basically they just recreated that entire first intro cutscene, but in its own huge chapter of the game, and it's so goddamn good. It's everything I'd want in a fan service galore of fights. It's legit just Armageddon because Shang-Chi is taking over trying to merge all the timelines. But in this version of Armageddon, since it's a combination of all the timelines, everyone in this battle is either a multiversal copy of someone in the main game, a new character we haven't actually seen yet, or a combination of 2 or more characters, which is where the magic is. You get to fight such beloved characters such as Scorp Lao, Quan Li, Reiko Star, the Red Dragon, which is cool seeing Kano in the game, Stung Lao, hey, aren't you just, never mind. A combination of all the ninjas in the game combined into one big Cyrax wannabe, Barakion, Ninja Mime, Shao Zero, Janet Cage, which I guess is just new Cassie Cage, and of course my favorite, John Connor. And all these combinations are randomized, which I figured out by replaying that chapter again for the trophy. So that means there's just infinite possibilities of fucked up monstrosities you can face off against, and it's beautiful. All these random little battles left me with such a dumb smile on my face because it's just fan service the game at this point. It's just a bunch of stupid combinations of characters that takes place in my favorite battle of Mortal Kombat. It's such a perfect ending to this new iteration because it just ties in everything that you could have imagined from the story. Since it's a brand new timeline and new story for a lot of characters like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Smoke being brothers, Raiden just being a guy instead of God of Thunder, Shang Tsung being a good guy, and Pac-Man being a bad guy.
Pac-Man's a bad guy?
Oh my god, I forgot about that line.
Pac-Man's a bad guy?
Pac-Man's a bad guy?
Pac-Man's a...
In my opinion, it's the perfect way to wrap up this story, but that may just be me because I haven't followed the story until this moment, so maybe you guys hate it, I don't know, this is my video, I'm an idiot, this is a chicken wing.
This is my credit card. Oh shit.
Alright, back to dumb, stupid young me, which is just like yesterday when I recorded this part of the video. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, spoiler over, and no, I don't know what the passcode to that bunker is. Swing Quang. Now we're on to the towers of the game, where you gotta complete 10 towers as different characters, and I kinda just used this as an excuse to get all the fatalities and brutalities for 20 characters out of the way, so we did that. I completed the tower as Baraka first, who I'm pretty sure is just the ghoul from outside of Tenpenny Tower, and then I went on to a few different characters, not very important, except for this new character Megan Fox plays, because oh my god, her performance is just...
That blade's enchanted. We can't help what we are. That we feed on blood doesn't make us evil.
I thought people were just shitting on her because it's fun, but god, it's so noticeable how awful her lines are delivered. She's no Ronda Rousey levels of bad, but she's for sure up there. But we got all those done, and now let's go check back in with Obama to see how he's doing over there. Before that, I got a random tangent I gotta go on, because this is my video, and I can talk about the little stupid things I find interesting. In 2021, there was an itty-bitty movie that came out called Mortal Freaking Kombat. And in that wacky movie, there's a part where I think that, like, I'm the only person that really focused this much, but goddamn, the credits on that movie blew away my little 19-year-old brain. The combination of red and black bleeding into each other with each new frame cascading a new piece of art represented for the movie. I love little shit like that. Like, the amount of effort put into credit sequences like that go so underappreciated because everyone's always like, well, movie's over, gotta go head to the bathroom to get a handy from Granny, you know what I'm saying? So here's some credit sequences that I think deserve a little more love. Mortal Kombat, Across the Spider-Verse, the SpongeBob movie. Okay, rant over. I just like little weird artsy fartsy shit. Sue me, I'll fucking bury you in a ditch. That got out of hand. Psych, you thought I was done, idiot? Nope, I forgot to mention how fucking insanely cool the intro to Armageddon was, so here we go. Armageddon hour is upon us once again, motherfucker. Look at this shit. It starts on a vulture feeding on a corpse with the rumble of hundreds of combatants sprinting towards each other, and then shit hits the fan, and there's so much going on. This was the coolest thing childhood me has ever seen, and even to an extent adult me, because goddamn I love this intro to this day, and it's for sure my favorite intro to any video game ever. You have everything you need, introducing every character and their abilities, ultimately ending in the introduction of the newest final boss in that game, getting you hyped up for the actual game. It's fucking beautiful, and nothing even comes close to the level of badass this does. Mortal Kombat's just a cool little guy. Anyways, how you doing, Broccoli? Oh, you found out how to use brutalities? Well, that's not a very big deal. You just still gotta do enough damage to get them down to one shot. And what are your stats? Oh my Jesus, holy mother of God. So invasions are going well, and since he's having a grand old time over there, I think it's time to once again go back to Armageddon, baby. Yeah, that's right, triple feature, you can't stop. I want to talk about how fucking far ahead this game was, even compared to today's standards. And no, I'm not talking about the specific codes you put in to use different profiles in Mortal Kombat, because that broke my little brain too. But I'm talking about the stages themselves. You see, in Mortal Kombat 1, it's just a simple little beat 'em up, nothing really going on. But in the past games, there was some fun things like hitting each other with random objects in the level or bouncing over someone to stop yourself from getting cornered. But if you look at Armageddon, the amount of fucking basically new fatalities this game unlocked with their fully interactable 3D levels was insane. You could kick motherfuckers off of staircases into a pit of spikes like Liu Kang did in the original movie. You could throw someone into a huge fan. The possibilities were endless as long as the possibilities were on the map and interactable. Fun fact about me, I don't know the definition of the word endless. And because of that, it added such a fun new element where you don't just lose because the other bitch is kicking your ass. You could also just stumble into a vat of acid because oopsie daisies, that wasn't very Sagittarius of me. That was for sure a Pisces thing to do. But back in Mortal Kombat 1, no, not that one. No, yeah, okay, yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah, we can't do any of that. It's just boring old MK, which is fine to an extent, but when you're playing the same fights over and over again, it gets so repetitive and reminds me why I never really got into any of these fighting games that much. I guess it's just a testament to the type of games I like, because this system doesn't really interest me for more than like a week. Even this Mortal Kombat I'm getting sick of, and it's only been a few days after writing this, even though that few days is just one of those days being just Mortal Kombat. This trophy is not the quickest to obtain, but even then, a Mortal Kombat game keeping my interest for long enough to make a gosh darn video about shows it's at least somewhat enjoyable, more than 10 or 11 ever got from me. The story mode at least invested me, but that's not because of the story, that's just because of how much this undead army acts like that one dude from When Do You Homecoming Warrior, or what I like to call the first Mortal Kombat. I mean, these motherfuckers were obviously just making Disney Channel MK with that goddamn green orb, the coolest fight I've ever seen as I was 10 in that silent living room fight, and then that literal fatality London Tipton pulls off at the end. What a fucking game Mortal Kombat is. Oh wait, that's not Mortal Kombat, this is. Man, this game ain't shit compared to the soccer kicking woman. I mean, this story has fun twists and turns that I didn't expect and kept my interest, but come on. Glowing green ball. Nothing beats balls. That game was amazing! Alright, enough with the Wendy Wu talk, but if you haven't watched it yet, I don't really recommend it. It's just kind of nostalgia speaking, but who knows, maybe you'll like it. But back to the video's title, I guess. Another thing that's always stood out to me in the Mortal Kombat story, and not just the games, but the movies especially, the music. As you can probably tell from the other videos I put out, I'm a kind of a slut for a good soundtrack. In Mortal Kombat Armageddon and the first Mortal Kombat movie soundtrack built my iPod Shuffle's playlist, especially the movie. I just remember jumping around my backyard listening to Control by Tracy Lords pretending I was Liu Kang, and that tree was fucking Shang-Chi, and I was about to kick him to hell. This soundtrack is ingrained in my memory, and absolutely nothing can change that. I'm gonna be singing Revelation on my deathbed, I swear to Tony. But that being said, the Mortal Kombat 1 soundtrack just doesn't hit. I can't even tell you what the main menu's theme sounds like off the top of my head. It's so goddamn generic and boring. That's been a trend in a lot of recent games though. They never really put effort into the actual soundtrack because they just either use licensed songs or they just put some generic AI generated garbage that just gives absolutely no life to the game and doesn't enhance the experience in the slightest. One of the greatest memories I had as a kid playing Mortal Kombat was just rocking out to the character select theme as my friends decided if they wanted to be girl with boobs 1 or girl with boobs 2. Spoiler, they chose option 3, Meat, the best character. The music isn't the most important thing to the overall experience, but when a game goes out of their way to put time and effort into making a banger tune, it really takes that game to the extra mile for me and gives it an extra point in my book of fucking the Gamer Bible. I don't know, I'm so hopped up on Red Bull Red Edition, I don't even know if the sun's following me or not. But back to Meat. I love that guy. The meat of the game itself, and more importantly, the story. The story mode is interesting, yes, but because of the way Mortal Kombat plays out the story modes, it's honestly just a good Mortal Kombat movie that's got a bunch of ad breaks where you gotta actually play the game. Which in a game all about fighting, if the gameplay is the weakest part of the game, that's just a Telltale game but without the story options, which is just an animated Mortal Kombat movie. Which isn't a bad thing, just not what I usually expect from the game I just bought, you know? This 5 bar doesn't make Mortal Kombat a bad game. I wouldn't have sunk so many hours into it if it was a bad game. It's just not exactly my cup of tea that hits the G spot, which not many do. Mortal Kombat is a mixed bag of beans, and if you don't like beans, I don't suggest you eat them. But maybe give this game a shot. Maybe not at a full $70 price tag, which honestly is how I feel about most games nowadays, but Mortal Kombat was my childhood. It's always been in my life one way or another, and even if I don't play it that often, I still loved the games, merchandise, movies, all that hoot and ha, and this game is no exception. The time I spent with it was really enjoyable, and I'm glad I decided to make this deep dive into my childhood and my future of how to look at fighting games, because this for sure won't be the last game I play. But on that note, this video is just one part of a greater series, because I'm not the only man in this race. And while I may or may not have received the platinum, you'll find out who won the challenge on this Wednesday's video when Splumpy takes you on a deep dive into his childhood with a different Mortal Kombat game. But I'll leave that for him to explain. For now, thank you for joining me on this journey, and I hope to see you witness history on the first year this Wednesday. It's been your boy, Bo Raicho, and I'll see you in the next one.
Now for a taste of the come.